What is up, everybody? It is Saturday, and you know what that means. What is up, everybody? I am Mr. T, aka the Judge, and tonight I am here with my co host, the Gorekeeper.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. It is very late.
It is extremely late. Usually we'd be coming at you guys at about 8 o'clock. However, tonight was a historical night for wrestling, and that is why we are going live later because of the Impact pay-per-view Hard to Kill. And
Yes.
that is a probably going to be a main topic for the entirety of
Yeah,
this podcast.
mostly.
I mean, there's really nothing else that I need to talk about right now.
Yeah. Bullet Club, yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't believe they came out wearing Bullet Club gear. That was
I
funny.
I was trying to figure out, what shirt Kenny was wearing because I've seen it like once, but it was like
Yeah, it's like the Halloween variant or something,
yeah,
I think,
so
which is
which is
weird.
which is real weird to me, and I wasn't sure like was Kenny gonna come out to different music? Was he gonna have his cleaner girls? How was his? Who's gonna do the announcing for him? Um, it's all kind of a letdown for me a little bit, but it is Impact and not AEW, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, so, I think before we get into the real meat and potatoes of this, let's talk about just the match card, all the matches that were on tonight, and kind of what we liked about them, what we didn't like.
Yeah.
We'll be able to touch on every single part of tonight's pay-per-view.
Yeah, the first match I know was on the pre-show. It was Brian Myers and Josh Alexander. I did not
Oh,
watch the pre-show.
that's so killer because I I was hoping Brian Myers was going to be on this pay per view, and I didn't watch the pre show either because I am in Fargo, North Dakota, setting up for Puffamania's Whiteout show tomorrow. So it's been a very hectic and busy day for me, and I totally, I almost spaced out missing this pay per view, but luckily I didn't. By the time we got back in our hotel room, I was just like, got to get this figured out. And then I logged right into Fight TV or the website, and it said, it had the countdown of when it started,
Yep.
and I was like, holy crap! I thought this like started at a different time. So, I think didn't it start at like 7?
It's 7, yeah.
Yeah,
7.
and for some reason I was thinking 8 o'clock, and that's probably because we go live at 8 o'clock. So
Yeah.
luckily I got because by the time we got back to the hotel here, um, I logged in and I was gonna buy it and get it set up and ready to go. So when it was showtime, all I had to do was just turn it on, and then I saw the time counter. I'm like, oh man, it's like 40 minutes from now. So yeah, luckily I didn't miss it. Unfortunately, I did miss Brian Myers, which sucks because I like him a lot, and
Yes, you do.
I was expecting to see him on the show, especially after the big surprise. Um, but it is what it is. Okay, so the pre-show, Brian Myers went against Josh Alexander, and he beat him. I didn't see it.
I didn't. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally missed it too.
So to start off things, it was Crazy Steve and Rosemary versus Tenelli Dashwood and Cable.
Neil Dashwood, yeah,
Yeah,
formerly
Emma
Emma. Yep.
Evolution. That stupid gimmick she had. She's so much better now. Um,
Yeah, she's great. I was disappointed that she ended up losing though.
yeah, I was too. I like. It was an enjoyable match. Like honestly, this whole pay per view, there was probably only one match that kind of bored me, but um, I it wasn't for a really long time until I got bored. I enjoyed this first match just because, I don't really watch enough Impact. I'm still kind of getting into it, and
Hmm.
the last few weeks have all been kind of nothing shows. But I know I've seen Crazy Steve before, and I know I've seen Rosemary before, but seeing them together was really cool.
Yeah,
You
they brought
know,
Decay back, which is really cool. It's been a
yep.
while since Decay's been a thing.
So that was really really cool, and I feel like I messaged you during the show. I feel like I've seen Crazy Steve somewhere else. I don't know where. Like if it
I'm
was
not
like
sure where. I know he did a few indie because he was with Impact for a long time. He did some of the. He was in some of the Broken Matt Hardy matches and stuff.
okay, so that might have
And
been
it could have been that. And then he
yeah.
went off, and WWE was apparently really interested in him, so he left Impact.
Hmm.
He ended up not signing with WWE, and then he did some indie shows and came back to Impact.
Yeah.
I guess he
Um,
tested the waters, and the waters weren't great enough.
I
There wasn't
mean,
enough buzz.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
I like Crazy Steve. I think he's cool.
yeah, I really enjoyed him too, and I'm a big fan of characters, and I know I've probably said that to you before, but like when it's just somebody plain Jane, like Eric Young, for example. Like
Oh, I love Eric
I
Young.
know he has a gimmick, but he's just a bald guy. Nothing cool really about him. Like I've always been a fan of Big Boss Man and Ultimate Warrior.
Like,
Like people who are a character, and not
yeah,
just like a normal human being wrestling. And so I always kind of lean that way, no matter what. And I think that's why I really like Crazy Steve and Rosemary. Um, yeah, it was a good match. The
yeah, it
next
was
match,
solid. Nothing crazy happened in it, but solid
it
match.
was a
And
solid start to the pay per view.
yeah,
The next match, which was kind of a surprise to me because I thought this would have been a lot later on, and
yeah, I
so
was expecting this to be a lot deeper into the
and
show than
and,
it
and,
was.
and I expect so the match we're talking about is the old school rules 6-man tag match. Eric Young, uh, Diener, and Joey Doring versus Cousin Jake, Rhino, and Tommy Dreamer. Um, what was it that Eric Young calls his people? Like their faction. It's like it's like
Oh, I don't even remember.
but it's dumb. That's what I remember. As I
Yeah,
remember,
it's not good.
I was like,
That's why I don't remember it
yeah,
probably.
it's something terrible. And if anybody knows, feel free to comment. Because I don't really care to look it up right now because it's so boring. But I remember I looked right at my dad. I'm like, did they just not have? Have they used every single name in the book that they're just putting words together and oh, that's our faction?
Yeah.
Like it is terrible. Um,
This match was a huge disappointment for me.
Same kind of.
And I also had zero expectations for this match, yet it still
You
let me
did.
down. I love Eric Young, don't get me wrong. I think he's great. Cody Deaner, I've liked for a long time. I like his new gimmick. His whole
Yep.
change has been really cool, and he's very aggressive, and I like that.
And
But
I
Joe
really like.
During, I hate. He looks doofy. I've said that. I think I said that in the first episode. He's just a doofy looking guy,
Is
and he
a
wrestles
weird
really
cowboy,
awkwardly.
and yeah,
He has a weird haircut too. It's very short in like the
it's
first 5 inches of his head,
yeah,
and then it's all long, so it's like an awkward, weird hairline. I just can't take him seriously,
yeah.
and he doesn't seem like he fits with them. I mean, he comes up with a
I
cowboy
don't
hat
I
and
don't know how he
cowboy
wrestles in
jeans.
those cowboy boots. Like they got to be modified somehow, but
Oh yeah,
they look super uncomfortable.
yeah, they cannot be comfortable wrestling
No,
him. But
um, I
cousin
was
Jake looked. I thought cousin Jake looked really good here.
he looked really good. I really hope he gets a name change soon because cousin Jake is just stupid sounding, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, I
why
mean Cody Deaner is
can't
just Deaner now. If
yeah?
I remember
It's like,
right, it's
can he
just
just
Deaner.
be Jake Diener or Jake something? Why is it
Yeah.
cousin Jake? Like, it's kind of weird,
There's no
but
need for the cousin gimmick anymore
yeah,
because they're
exactly,
not.
because they're
He's not with
broken
his
up.
cousin
Hmm.
anymore. But yeah, I
Um,
mean, I didn't really like this match very much.
the
Um,
match went by so fast.
it was
Like,
so quick. Yeah,
the first 3 to 4 matches, like if they flew
it
by.
flew by.
So I was like, okay, so either there's going to be a really long match, or something extra is going to happen, or this pay per view isn't really that long. Um, but I had really high expectations. I mean, I love Tommy Dreamer, and
Oh yeah, of course.
Um,
And he can still go.
and he can still do it, especially at
Hey,
his
we got
age.
2 viewers. Come say hi, everybody.
Say hello, everybody.
Say hello in the
Welcome,
comments. We can
welcome,
chat. Welcome to the show.
welcome to the Shooting Star Press.
Yes, we go live every Saturday if you're new
8
here.
p.m. Facebook,
Central Time.
Twitter, YouTube, soon to be Instagram. I know I said that last week. It's coming.
Yeah,
It's
you're gonna
it.
handle that one, buddy, because I don't know how to
Yeah,
work Instagram.
I already got someone in place who can run it.
Okay, cool. But yeah,
um,
next match we had the Knockouts Tag Title Tournament final with Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steeles, and they won over Havoc and Nevaeh, which
which
I thought was
blew my
surprising.
mind. Yes, Havoc and was it Nevaeh?
Nevaeh, yep.
I thought for sure they would win. Because obviously, the other two are kind of the baby faces, and obviously the other two
Yep.
are heels. But as far as like a dominating tag team, Nevaeh and Havoc are what it is. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
Havoc really impresses me. You know,
Oh God, she was
like
impressive tonight.
like
Tonight is the first night she really got to show what she can do. For me,
yeah,
she really impressed me tonight. Like she was just doing crazy strength stuff,
yep.
like stuff like
And
Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley would do. It's just
and
like
looking at her, so
Jesus.
like it just looking at her like as a wrestler, like instantly I think, oh, she's gonna wrestle like Nia Jax.
Oh God, I just got a
But
guy from
but she
Indonesia
is
messaging me.
so. What's that?
I just got a guy from Indonesia that messaged me. I don't know why
Oh,
on Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna ignore
weird.
that.
Yeah. That's spam.
Yo, yeah.
But yeah, no, you look at Havoc and if you've never seen her before, the closest thing you can compare her to is like a Nia Jax type
But not,
wrestler,
but
but she is
safer
way
and
safer
a
and
lot more
better
talented.
and way more talented. She can move around the ring. She's strong. Like when she had both those chicks in her arms and like did
Doing
like
this,
doing like yeah,
like holding him up and then
it did
power
like a
bomb
weird
kind of.
double power bomb, which was epic.
It was great. It was one of the spots of the night up until towards later, which I'll talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the spots that I thought was just nuts. And
And it was
even the double power slam she did when she caught one off the rope and then she got the other one off the top rope and then did a power
yeah.
not a fall away slam. What was that called? Joe Hendry's finishing move.
Joe Henry, you got me. I don't know what that is.
I don't remember, but they take him. I think it's not a power slam, but they have them and they chuck them back over their heads and they fall
Yep.
down with them. But I don't remember what it's called. But I do think Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz did deserve this win. They've been doing a lot of good work recently.
And one thing that I really stood out to me is that they work really good as a team. Like
Yes,
they got really good correlating moves together that look real clean and they're done really well. Um, so they're totally deserving. I don't think they're going to be tag team champions for a year. I don't think they're going to I think
yeah,
maybe a couple months they'll drop the belts to hopefully Havoc and
that's what I'm thinking. Havoc and Nevaeh
Nevaeh.
are
I
gonna
mean,
get those belts sooner than later.
and then they're not going to let them go for a long
No,
time.
no, they'll have them for a
They'll have
long
them for a
time.
long time until they implode. I bet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, really good match. This is the first match I
Hmm.
really enjoyed, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this
and
pay per view's
even
picking up.
at the end of the match, Gail Kim came out with
Madison Rain,
Madison Rain, and they gave him
who
the
is gone from TNA Impact now, which is so sad because
it is sad.
she was such a big part of
She was
Impact for so
huge for
long,
it. Yep.
and she's a legend. So thanks for
Yep.
everything, Madison Rain, and
So
Gail Kim, of course. She's fantastic. So
all right. So moving on,
Ace
Brandon,
Austin comes out.
I will let you say what you got to say because you probably already know how much I got to say
Oh,
about
I
this
know.
next part. So
So
go ahead, speak about it.
Ace Austin comes out, who won the X Division Cup, and he is with Madman Fulton. That's his henchman, and he's trying to get into the X Division triple threat match that happened tonight. He deserves. He says he's number one contender.
Hmm.
He's gonna stake his claim. He wants his match tonight. Scott D'Amore comes out and tells him no, but he is gonna get a match. But it's not gonna be for the title tonight. That's for another time. That ship has sailed. So Out comes
Always ready, Matt Cardona, baby.
Matt Cardona,
Now,
formerly known as Zack Ryder.
holy mother of God.
Which is a
Like,
cool get for Impact if he's gonna stick
oh
around
my
long
God.
enough.
Like, you know, I, for like the last 2 weeks, I listen to Major Wrestling Figure podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I watch their YouTube. I follow the guys on Twitter. I'm a mark. I'm a major mark for them.
Yep.
And
Which is why
for
I'm
the,
surprised you missed the Brian Myers match. I
I
thought for
know,
sure.
I know. But yeah, so for the last couple of weeks, I've been listening to their podcast, and there have been little tiny amounts of hints. So like the one, not the one that just came out Friday, but I think the one before, um, they were talking like New Year's resolutions, and just what they liked from 2020. And Brian Myers made like a comment after Zach had said like what his New Year's resolution was, and Myers had said something along the lines like impact contract. And Matt's just like, ah, ha, ha, ha. But in all seriously, you got my number. Give me a call. I'm always ready. And I just kind of took it as whatever.
Yeah.
And I honestly like I was waiting for, because sometimes Matt will post on his Twitter like a Q&A, ask him a question, and
Mm-hmm.
I was so hoping that was going to happen, because I was going to be like, are you ever going to wrestle again? Like, are you?
Yeah,
What's
because
the deal? He's been
his
gone for.
AEW stint was just like on a. I
It
think
was
he
like
only did like 3 spots, and that's all
he
he
had
was
like a
scheduled
two
for.
month he had like a 2 month contract, and it went nowhere. And,
Yeah.
one of the other things I thought about asking him if he ever did a Q&A was, is the reason you're no longer in AEW because of the shirt you wore, like the last time you were there, where it said the sweet life of Matt and Cody, because he's good friends with Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, did that do you in? Is that why you're not there no more? But and then I started to think, okay, well, Royal Rumble's coming up, and a while ago on Twitter, he had posted this weird, confusing tweet that said something like his friends are here. It was something like his cats and dogs are in Florida, but his friends are in New York. So, and what was weird was the WWE was in New York that night, so I didn't really figure it out, but I thought that was like some sort of a hint that maybe he's coming back to the WWE. So I honestly had been expecting that he was going to come to the Royal Rumble and surprise everyone. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was thinking. And then I started hearing all these, the Major Wrestling for Your podcast, and these little cheap hints here and there, these cheap shots, and I was just like, man, that would be so perfect. Oh yeah, here's my dad, by the way. You
My
probably see
dad.
in the back room. But yeah, I thought, what better thing for TNA right now to have the Major Brothers like Matt and Brian? Like, that would be
Mm-hmm.
so epic, and they could rule as a tag team, in Impact for sure, or even have a good battle, like against each other. I think that could be
Yeah.
really good too, because there's a history there. But
Speaking of Royal
any
Rumble,
yeah,
I think the thing that would make me most excited and make me pop the most for Royal Rumble is if fucking Jay White shows up. I would
I don't think it'll
lose
happen.
my shit.
If he knows what's
His
good for him,
contract's up.
he won't go to WWE. Is not the place to be right now.
It's not, but I've heard
But if
SmackDown's been pretty good lately.
yeah, yeah,
If they throw him on SmackDown, he's in for
we'll
a good
see.
time. I
So
really would love to see Jay White enter the Rumble just for the pop,
it would
because
be
it
it
would
would
be
WWE needs to get Jay White in order to have any hope of a future of still being a thing.
Jay
Um,
White could take that company in so many
he
places. He's
could,
such a good performer.
if they let him do it, he totally could. But back to
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
yeah,
Distracting.
we get derailed all the time here on the Shooting Star Press.
Welcome to the show.
Sometimes we miss real important things about tribute shows, or one of my favorite things that happened on Monday Night Raw and Teddy Long yelling "The Undertaker," like I totally spaced on talking about that because that was one of the funniest parts of that show to me, just because he's notorious for that. Anyways,
Yeah.
back on
Tag
track.
teams and Undertaker, 1-on-1 with the Taker.
Matt Cardona comes out. I literally like it's quiet as hell here. There's not many people here, and I'm sitting right next to my dad. We're watching this on my laptop. I literally am like I like what like I marked out and I haven't done anything like that since the Hardy's surprise return at WrestleMania. So
You
this is
didn't
like
get that for Sting
when
on AEW?
no, no, I knew that was happening. It wasn't a surprise.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I for sure knew that was gonna happen because there's so much buzz on the internet nowadays. But anyways,
I
so
was
Matt,
in. I did not get spoiled to that one, so I marked out hard for that
I
one.
bet I bet you did. I mean, it's good for Sting to come back, especially on
With
AEW
the
and not the
way
W.
he ended things in WWE, he
Yeah, he
needed
needed
to.
a redemption. So,
Yep.
anyways, so Matt comes out. I lose my shit. Oh, sorry. 21 minutes in, first curse word. My
Second,
bad.
I swore to.
Um, Matt comes out. I totally lose my mind. Like, and then he comes out and starts beating up Ace Austin, and then I was so confused because I'm like, wait, Matt's wrestling right now? Like, and there was a match going on. Like, I didn't even hear any of that because um, the guy who introduced or brought Matt out, the second he said, so, like, I got someone here who's always ready, and then I'm instantly like, what? Like, and then this slow build, like this really fast slow build of like energy, and then all of a sudden, boom, music hits. You see the big logo, and you know his logo and all of his moves are a direct shot at the Empire and what they and their mess up for letting him go and never utilizing him honestly.
Hmm.
And I really like and respect Matt for sticking up for himself and rebranding himself in a real cool way. Even renaming his moves to different things, that
Hmm.
just combat everything the Empire did. But anyway, so yeah, Matt comes out, him and Ace wrestle, and it ended up being a disqualification
Yeah,
because
man, Fulton got pissed.
yeah, and the whole time I was just like, Brian Myers, where are you? Brian Myers, where are you? And it never happened. And I'm like, oh crap. And then they had showed a clip on the pay per view of like a Brian Myers match. I didn't realize that was a pre show. I thought, oh, that's coming up later. So
Hmm.
maybe Matt will come out and save him, and then they'll have their reunion. But I'm okay with Brian Myers not coming out because it gave Matt a time to shine, and he needs
Yeah.
it, and he got
One
it.
one note I want to make on the very short Matt Cardona versus Ace Austin match is
Yeah,
that I didn't get to say last week, and I forgot to say this, but Ace Austin is the smoothest wrestler that Impact has right now.
you think so?
He wrestles so smooth and perfectly. I think he is going to be a major player in wrestling in a few years.
He
One,
if
if
he
they if he
can
just gets the right push,
if he doesn't
he's going to be a
change,
major figure.
yes, I agree 100%. And I
He's one of
really
my
hope I
favorites to
hope
watch.
I hope he never goes to the WWE because they ruin everyone.
Yeah, we'll see how the Rascals do there because the Rascals just showed up there, except for Trey Miguel, but the other two went to NXT. So they'll probably get treated right in NXT, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Once it comes up to main roster, then it's when it gets iffy. So
So real quick before we go talk about the X Division Championship match, I
oh, what
wanted
a match that
I
was!
wanted to talk. What did you think about our announcers tonight? What was your opinion on them?
You know, I heard a lot of people getting excited about D'Lo Brown as was I, because D'Lo was the
Yeah.
man back in the day. I loved D'Lo as a kid.
Eh,
And
I'm
then
a big fan of him. I loved him on the commentator table, though.
he was so good.
He was so much better than Matt, and I don't know what happened to Matt Stryker's voice.
I
But
know it was
oh
so
man,
odd.
like there are two people at like if you guys didn't watch, there were two people commentating. It was D'Lo Brown
Matt
and
Striker
Matt
and
Stryker.
yep.
But there were so many times where I'm like, is there a third person here right now? because
Yeah.
you're hearing three different voices, and it's so weird because Matt's having difficulties talking because he's losing his voice, and he's just like, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." And then all of a sudden, boom, normal, and I'm just like, what? But
Yeah, Matt
it's
Striker's commentary was odd to say the
it
least.
was
Um,
yeah.
is
Um,
Josh Matthews done with the company or something? Because
I
why wasn't
I
he
really don't
there?
know. I don't know because
Because
he
that'd
was.
be a major loss for Impact. Because I'm a big fan of Josh Matthews'
You are.
commentary. I
That's
am.
interesting.
I
I mean,
think
yeah,
he's very good.
I
He's
think
come a long way.
he was raised in the right era of good commentating. I think
Hmm.
for the WWE. So, and unfortunately, right now, uh, now that Michael Cole's gone, Lawler's gone, JR's gone, Taz gone. Like,
Well, we
uh,
got Taz and JR in AEW at least.
yes, which is number 132,389,2 reason why AEW is better than the Empire.
I
And
also love Excalibur. He's probably my
Excalibur is
favorite
so
commentator.
awesome, and I love that they have extra people commentating, just to break it up.
Yeah.
It's really
It never
nice,
seems dull and
refreshing.
repetitive, and you're hearing the same people. And I love Excalibur. He's great at play-by-play. He knows the name of
He
every
knows
single
every
move.
move, and it's so nice to hear,
Yes.
like because they can use the same name for a move so many times, but you know and then he can also bring a little bit of history behind the move too,
Yeah,
which is
he has
he's
tons of
really really
knowledge.
knowledgeable. Um,
Yes.
so on to our
Yes.
big X Division match.
So good, dude. Holy crap.
Oh
This
yes,
match was insane.
yes. I'm a big Manic fan. Like
TJP.
TJP man, Suicide. Like yeah, I don't know if you know, but I got an 8x10 autograph of him out of a pro wrestling
Yep,
crate
I
a
saw
while
that,
ago,
yeah.
and it ain't going nowhere because he's awesome. But
This match, TJP's put on a lot of good work,
yes,
especially when he was on 205 Live doing all that stuff on WWE.
yeah,
He
he's the
was,
first 205 live champ, right?
yeah, he was the first cruiserweight champ. Yep. And I liked him in the cruiserweight classic. The first one they did was
Hmm.
amazing, even though I wanted Zack Sabre Jr. to win, but he didn't sign a
Yeah,
contract, so that sucked. And Kota Ibushi was in that. A lot of people forget that Kota Ibushi wrestled for
yep,
WWE, and
yep,
he put on amazing matches. But anyways, we're losing track. Um, but yeah, I've seen a lot of good stuff from TJP in the past, but this time, this match, he really pulled out all the
it
stops.
was awesome,
And so did
and
Chris Bay and Rahit Raju. They really all turned it up to like 200. Like they just went for it. And every finish, every pin, damn near, I believed in.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
everything looked like that was going to be the end of it.
A lot of good
And
stuff
it just kept going.
this time. Like sorry, I'm sharing. I forgot to share our live stream to my one of my Facebook pages, so we try to
Okay.
see a little bit more people. But yeah, so that match was so good, and I was a little surprised that they went to rip Manic's mask off because um,
I figured this was going to be the
I
time to
figured
do it.
I figured that yeah, I like how they decided to have him have face paint on underneath.
Yeah, that
So
was a nice touch.
that was a nice touch, and still has a little bit of mystery, even though we all know
It's
it is
TJP.
TJP. There ain't no changing that. Um,
Um, yeah, so up until this point of the night, this was bar none. You know what? It still might be my match of the night. I think it
really,
was the match of the night. Um, my best wrestler of the week, spoiler, is not part of this match, but I do think this was the match of the night. This match was
really,
so good, as are most X Division matches. Like especially
yeah.
if they're for the belt, they Impact treats their X Division
I
very
miss
well.
I miss the old days where they had it hanging
The
over the
ropes,
X. Yes, that
oh dude,
was.
that was great.
If they would have had that tonight, that could have been my match of the night by far. I don't even know which one would be my match. I'm okay. Yeah, I definitely do. We're not quite there yet.
All right, next match was for the Knockouts champion is Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya Valkyrie. I've said it on this show before, probably on every show we've ever done,
Yeah.
that I'm not a fan of Taya Valkyrie, and this didn't help her case for
This
me.
was the most boring match of the night for me,
It was
unfortunately.
solid. It was technically well done, but there
Yeah.
was nothing. Nothing felt special about it.
No, not at all. It was just a
It just kind of
regular.
happened.
It should have been one of the. I wish it would have been one of the first matches of the night.
It,
You know,
yeah, it's this and the old school brawl should have switched places.
that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
but yeah,
but
super.
I get it to put him higher up on the card because it's a championship match
Yeah,
versus
it
just
makes
a
sense.
match.
Yep.
So I get it. But I do love Deonna Purrazzo. I think Deonna Purrazzo is a very solid wrestler. I think she's fantastic and she has a great future. But Taya Valkyrie is just someone I've never seen pull out the stops, and just go for it. Like she wrestles like the Miz to me, and that's very safe.
She looks like a
And
poor version of Natalia.
yeah, and Natalia is
Like
actually really
in
good.
Natalia is one of my any blood family of the Heart Foundation. I got a lot of respect and a like for. I'm
Do you
drinking
remember?
water tonight. What are you
Oh,
drinking?
I have Moo Juice here,
Mmm.
oatmeal milk stout. It's pretty delicious. Do you remember when
Interesting.
WWE gave Natalia a farting gimmick?
What?
You don't
No,
remember that?
no.
Yes. They gave her a gimmick
WWE.
where she would accidentally fart a bunch of times in front of people.
So this is one of the things I brought up like 2 to 3 times tonight, and it's just how the WWE can take somebody who has so much potential and literally destroy them so much that they'll never be able to be anything different. So, for example, Doc Gallows. He's
Yep.
great. He's awesome right now. I wish he didn't have so much of a fake spray tan, but in my eyes, he's
His
always going to
spray
be.
tan is ridiculous.
He's in my eyes. He's always going to be Festus, and you can thank the WWE for that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
see,
I'm
I can't
sorry,
take him
Doc.
seriously either.
I can't. Every time I look at his face, I see Festus, and it's like I get you got a beard, you grew your hair out, you got all these tattoos. Someone sprayed you with a orange spray paint can, but you're still Festus to me, buddy, and that's all you'll ever be.
All that's missing
Sorry.
is the tongue, the
Yeah, I know. And when I talked about that, I was just like, if they ever try to bring Eugene back and repackage him, it ain't gonna happen. Hey, you're still Eugene forever and ever and
yeah,
ever. Even when
yeah,
even when you leave the WWE and you go to the Indies, you're Eugene. It
yeah.
ain't gonna change. But yeah.
But
So
yeah, so
we're off track.
Deonna
A
Purrazzo
little off
retained,
track. Yes. She
which is
retained.
good. I'm glad about that.
Me
That's
too.
probably the
She's
best thing
a
about the match is that she won it.
great technical wrestler. I love I love unique submissions, and hers wasn't that, but you don't see it all the time. The double armbar type
Yeah,
move, and seeing the other girl say she quitted was awesome.
yeah.
Um,
Next we have
Moving
probably
on,
one of the most insane things I've seen in a long
and I
time.
need to rewatch it because I unfortunately got a little distracted with some of the Puffamania things going on here, so I didn't get to see it all the way through.
Dude, it's
Was
probably
it good?
5 minutes in total, but
Maybe that's why I missed it because I didn't
it
like
was very
get up and
short.
walk away or anything like that. And you've talked in the past about how much you love the Karate Man, and
Yep.
I haven't seen a whole ton of him, and I knew he was going to be on tonight, so I was like, oh, Karate Man's going to be awesome. And then it's like I literally blink and then and what I don't even remember. Like honestly, until I pull up the match card, I totally forgot that was a
I
thing tonight.
thought it was absolutely hilarious. It was definitely not meant to be taken seriously. I mean, it's shot on a green screen, and like every 3 seconds, the background is changing to some random location. It's just, it's
Interesting.
just
I wonder if
At one
I
point, Karate Man does like the Mortal Kombat Liu Kang kicks, like that, thing.
wonder if I
It's
can go
just
back on Fight
insane.
TV and watch this.
Yeah, you can.
Either that or probably be uploaded somewhere eventually. All right. Did you have anything more to say about that match?
Um, Other than Karate Man ripped out Ethan Page's heart to win the match, uh,
Dang
that
it!
is it.
How
So
did
I
I
think,
miss this? Oh my
dude,
god.
it was so stupid and dumb, but I loved every second of
Ah,
it. It was really funny. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
that's great.
Um,
I'm gonna
but
watch that
yeah,
and I'll let you know what I think.
as far as I know, this is Ethan Page's last thing he's doing with Impact, and his contract's up.
Wonder what
So that
he'll
was
end up.
probably the reason why Karate Man killed him off.
Yeah.
So speculation of where Ethan Page goes, who knows?
Who
I know
knows?
WWE has a lot of interest in him, so maybe there. Um,
Yeah.
at this point, I'm thinking he's just looking for a big payout because he's made a reputation for himself.
Right.
I mean, so that could be it. But I think if I remember right, he was at All In, the first AEW kind of show before they became AEW.
Yeah.
I believe he was in the Rumble, so maybe
Oh.
AEW. He has some ties there. Obviously, he's wrestled a match kind of for them in a way.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. But next match was the Barbed Wire Massacre with Sami
My match
Callihan and Eddie
of the night.
Edwards.
My match of the night.
Oh,
Oh man, was that fun? That was
wow.
fun. So what would you give it a rating out of 10?
Oh, out of
I'm
10, probably 7.5.
okay.
Seven? Seven. I'll give it a
Well,
7.
I'm sitting right at about like 7.9, 7.9 to an 8. That's where I'm kind of sitting right now. Um, which for match of the night being that uh, I don't know. It is what it is, but I love hardcore, unique, different type matches. We don't really get them all the time, and D'Lo Brown said it perfectly. You know, there are so many stages that two wrestlers can go through. Whether it's just a regular singles match, then a last man standing match, and it just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating until it gets
Mm-hmm.
to a point where they have a barbed wire massacre match to end it. And it's a lot like how Matt Hardy and Sammy Garva had their final deletion matches.
Yep.
And they just kept upping the ante every time. And um, I'm not. I won't lie. Like there was a lot. I think a lot left on the table. A lot more they could have done. But
Yeah.
it was a hard nosed fought match. Um,
I
it looked
loved that Sammy
painful.
kicked out at 1
hmm
after the Boston Knee Party.
I couldn't believe he kicked out of that. I was like, "Yep, that's it." But
And
no,
at 1, too.
yeah,
That
yep,
was nuts.
that was
And the
epic.
look on Sammy's face. Do you understand why I love Sammy Callahan so much
I
now?
I do. I'm still trying to love him just because I don't know. Like for me, it's like I don't know. Like I don't know how old he is, but it's almost like he's a younger kid. Try like where it's like he's. I think it's the hat. When he comes out with a hat, it's almost like if I were dressing up for Halloween to be like, you know, the biggest hardcore, wrestler of all time, but yet I look like a little kid. Like I think maybe he just has a baby face, and it doesn't to me, you know, stand out as hardcore wrestler. Judging by
Mm-hmm.
just his face. Um, but that being said, holy crap! He get hit, and when they ran into the one single steel cage, I thought the thing was going to tip over. Like I remember seeing
Oh,
the
yeah, me
camera.
too.
I thought the camera. I saw the cameraman out there. I'm like, oh, dude, he's done. He's going to get hit. But that thing was rock solid. Um, and yeah, and then they trade off the kendo stick for the bat. I like that. The only thing that kind of bugged me about the whole match was anytime he'd get like a real close up shot of the barbed wire, and like, there's nothing really sticking out. It looks like just some chicken wire you wrapped around something, which and I get, they don't want to hurt him too much, but um, I don't know.
Their barbed wire is definitely a lot more sparingly on the sharp points than most barbed
Yes,
wire. But I mean, it was still effective. It was
it was
still
still
quite a bit of a
effective,
bloody match. But
and I wished I wish they would have ripped off Sammy Callahan's like vest or whatever to really like make him bleed a little bit more because it just would have made for a really like I'm gonna beat you tooth and nail like to the very end and I'm gonna hurt every inch of you. This is a barbed wire match. Why should you have any type of protection? Like
mm-hmm.
when he got slammed down on that chair, I was like, well, I mean, it probably just hurt because it was metal, but it's not like he was getting poked or anything. But
Yeah, that was a slight problem I have with it too. Like when they took the kendo stick to his stomach, and it
hmm
just kind of and they made the point of like, look how you have to rip it away. It's like, yeah,
hmm
because it's stuck on his vest.
yeah, yeah, like oh, that hurts so much. Not, in which talking about this reminds me about the old school rules match, and just when they dropped Eric Young on the thumbtacks and like they
Right
completely
in his ass.
right? It's like it got his butt and nothing else, and he's just like
Yeah,
like no, it like literally is in your upper thigh, buddy. You know,
yeah, it
and
was all butt. The whole thing was
I
all
did
butt.
think it was super cool when the guy took the kendo stick and just snapped it in half over his knee.
Yeah,
That
too bad it
that
was Joe Doring who did it because he looks like a doofus.
yeah,
I
true.
can't. I'm sorry.
He doesn't
I
fit
hate
in.
him.
He doesn't fit in with the times. Like early 1990s wrestling, late 1980s. Yeah, sure, I could see,
Yeah,
Cowboy Man, but right now, the last kind of sort of cowboy, not talking about Hangman Page because he's awesome, but like
he's great.
before that, the last sort of kind of good cowboy type guy, in my opinion, was JBL. And
Yeah,
that was a much more modernized version
yeah,
of a cowboy. So,
yeah.
anyways, moving
Anyways,
on,
the final match of the night was Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus
the
Rich
Bullet
Swann,
Club,
Chris Sabin,
the Bullet
and
Club, baby.
Moose instead of Alex Shelley at a
Yeah,
random misplacement. But I feel like they worked it in pretty well
yeah.
with the little behind the scenes stuff and the little bit of the pre show that I did actually see. They really made Moose feel like he was the right choice to be in that match.
Oh, he needed to be in that match for those little
Oh,
guys.
he was
Like,
so
like
good.
Rich, like just seeing all the guys in the ring at the same time, like Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, they're like, it's like the Big Show and Rey Mysterio. It seems,
Yeah.
So having Moose in there really,
Even the odds with
even
Big
the odds,
MV.
especially with, yeah, Doc Gallows. You know,
Yeah.
but anyway, so yeah, main event. Arguably will go down in history as one of the most important matches in wrestling history because I know in the future from now that match is a huge milestone, huge stepping stone in the wrestling world, especially with All Elite Wrestling, Impact, and I think we can say New Japan. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I don't know why they come rocking in Bullet Club stuff and not one commentator says Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Um, you
It was a little
know,
weird.
it was a little weird. So, like, part of me is like, okay, so do they just still have the rights, or is it because it's Impact and it's so microscopic on, the food chain that they can just get away with it? I
I
don't know.
doubt you follow him, but Tama Tonga, who is an OG member of Bullet Club,
One of the
uh,
only match, yeah, one of the main matches. It was like the second match I watched at Wrestle Kingdom
yeah, he kind of
was their
went
tag
off on the
match.
whole Bullet Club reunion in
Oh,
AEW and Impact.
I think I remember you telling me because aren't all those guys like considered not members anymore?
Yeah, Tama Tonga considered Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson to be Bullet Club for life, but not Kenny because Kenny was kind of the divide in Bullet Club after a while. He started
Right.
the elite with the Young Bucks,
hmm
and after they all too sweeted with Kenny and the Young Bucks with
Hmm.
them. Tama Tonga felt betrayed and was like, "That's not Bullet Club. That's the Elite." You
Right.
know, like this
Oh,
is
for
not a Bullet
sure.
Club reunion. Bullet Club's in
Well,
New Japan,
I
and we're
wonder.
rocking it here. So he was pretty upset about it.
Yeah, I
And it's
understand.
kind of been a controversial topic if he was in character. If that means there's going to be Tama Tonga coming to AEW
That'd be.
anytime soon or
Oh
Impact,
my
which
God.
would be great. The Grills of Destiny coming down to do some unfinished business with
Yes.
Kenny and the Young Bucks. I would love that.
Hmm.
But anyways, let's get into our first segment and try to get this show going.
Yeah, we're making good time.
I think we are, and we can blow through these pretty fast because I know mine already. Wrestler of the week for me, it's Moose.
Yeah,
It's
is very
Moose.
very impressive. Very very impressed with him. For me, I don't even know.
Although I did like the Darby Allin versus Brian Cage match a lot
That
too.
actually, so I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna say Matt Cardona was my wrestler of the week, just because
He
he's been
barely
on,
wrestled,
just
man.
because he was on the shelf for so long and just came back. But no, for me, it's actually Brian Cage because he looked
Yeah, he
real
did.
good, and I thought he would have gotten tired way, way sooner because he just kept slamming Darby
Oh
over and
yeah.
over repetitively, and he just kept coming back. And I think it really showcased what he could potentially become in the wrestling company. Either is it, even if he were to leave AEW and go to WWE or even Impact, which I don't think will happen, but uh, he really showcased a lot.
Yeah, he did. He put on a really good effort. I don't know if Brian Cage ended up looking strong in defeat though, because he did so much and Darby did so little that when he lost, it's just like, oh,
Right?
why? You know,
Yeah.
like because of a crucifix bomb?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So I mean, I loved the match until the finish. I didn't expect Cage to win, but I thought it was gonna end in like a DQ or a screwy finish, or maybe Sting comes out and causes a
Yeah.
distraction, something like that. But for Darby to beat Cage straight up just doesn't make sense to me for some reason. It didn't click for me. As much as I love Darby, I think he's great. I wasn't hot on him at first because he doesn't get a lot of offense.
Yeah.
Um, half of his matches he sells the shit out of for everybody, and he doesn't get a lot of his own stuff in. So
Yeah.
when I first saw Darby Allin, I wasn't hot on him, but I'm getting him now. I'm understanding, but the way he beat Cage just kind of seemed like out of nowhere for me.
Yeah. I like Darby Allin, I do, but I don't know how much longer he's gonna be able to have that title. I
I don't
mean,
know. He's got to really do some more offense than what he
he
does.
really does because he can take a beating real good, but you
Yeah,
know
he's one
you
of the
can't.
best sellers in
Yeah,
wrestling right now. He
yeah.
can
I
sell the
mean,
shit out of anything.
like this is a wrestling show, not a episode of Jackass. Like how
Exactly.
much can he get beat up and keep getting up? And for him to win as easy, like literally doing hardly any moves, and to just do a move and just to win, like really, like oh okay, well I guess Brian Cage isn't really that good, but really no, I really think Brian Cage has a lot of upside. So Brian Cage,
Yeah.
wrestler of the week, says is a surprise for me. And anytime a wrestler can surprise me with their in ring abilities, like I've said, the Butcher in the past, Brian Cage is the next
I
big
said
surprise.
Carmella on week one.
Yeah, you did. So
All right, next segment. Worst match of the week.
I don't even know.
Dude,
I
I
don't
know. I know 100%.
tell
And
me.
I didn't even try to watch it, but it was late Monday night.
Oh no.
I had nothing to watch.
Yeah.
I decided I'm going to throw on Raw, see what's going on over there. In the main event, it was Randy Orton versus Triple H, which I was like,
Oh my. Yes.
okay,
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
excited for
Did
that.
you did you slow mo what happened at the end of that like I did?
I didn't.
Oh, so because I had seen it and I was like, what? And because I'm a snob and I gotta figure out how the magician does his tricks. I went back and I paused it, and then I, um, every frame, like slowly went through it, and you see Alexa Bliss pull out like it just you couldn't even see what it was in her hand. You just see her you know, and then you see the flame literally. Yeah, yes, it was close to his face, but it did not hit. It went right on by.
Yeah, that was the stupidest thing in wrestling I've seen in a while. They WWF or WWE whatever has tried the fire to the face thing in the past, and it did not
Yeah,
work out.
I thought
And
it was
so why
weird
do
with
it again?
Triple
It still
H.
doesn't work out.
I thought it was really odd with Triple H. You know,
What was the point of Triple H even being
not
in
not
that match? Had nothing to do with Triple H. It just happened out of nowhere. But I was like, if we get to see Randy Orton versus Triple H again, I'm down for that. I'm still down for Triple H wrestling. But we didn't get that. He came out in a leather jacket and a t-shirt, and it's like, this ain't the game. And as soon as he came out in a t-shirt, I'm like, this match isn't going more than 3 minutes.
exactly.
And I was like, but Randy's not going to squash Triple H. That's not happening. And Triple H ain't gonna squash Randy Orton, so I was like, something fucking is gonna happen. And then of course it did with the stupid flame ball. So that was my worst match of the week by far. It's
Agreed.
not even deniable. And I think all but 1 week, my worst match of the week and worst thing of the week was all WWE stuff.
hmm
One last week, I believe it was Jazz and Jordan Grace versus who did they fight? I don't remember. It was a tag team match for the women's knockout championships. But Jazz didn't look good there, so she was my worst wrestler of the week that week. But other than that, every other time it's been WWE stuff. And it's not like I even watch it. I just like tune in every time and I always see
Yeah.
something stupid. It's like, and it just constantly reminds me of why I don't watch it. You know?
Oh, nice. All right. Well, yeah. So, we both agree. I don't know if we've ever agreed on worst segment or match.
No, we
So
haven't.
this is a first. And what are the odds? It's because it's the WWE.
We might have agreed on the 2020 thing with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yep. I think that was probably another, and it was also another WWE thing.
Yeah.
So
1 week, my worst match of the week should have been Great Okan versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, but
yeah.
I know you're a mark for Great Okan,
Well,
but
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a mark. Like literally,
he's the pits. I hate Great
I
Okan.
saw
He's the worst.
one match. Okay, and if it wasn't for watching his entrance, I wouldn't have had any like for it. Like
You
honestly,
even liked that stupid face thing he wore?
I love that. That was so cool.
Oh, it was so dumb.
It's yeah, okay, it's dumb, but it's unique. And
Unique isn't always good.
yeah, I know, but it's very character like literally I saw it as like a Mortal Kombat character come to life or something like that, which I'm a sucker for gimmicks, especially Luchasaurus.
Oh, I love Luchasaurus. He's
Luchasaurus is the
fantastic.
man, but it's odd. Did you notice Jungle Boy has a new song? Sorry to
Yeah,
get
they
off
bought the
topic. We're
rights
getting
to his
towards the
old
end of this.
song finally.
Yeah, I loved that.
I was excited about that. That makes me very happy.
hmm
AEW, we didn't really talk about AEW too much other than the Darby and Cage match, but I
Yeah,
really enjoyed this week's
it was.
Dynamite.
It's been it's been a real refresher after it seemed like the second we hit that tribute show, it's like oh every episode from now is just going to be depressing and sad, but it's actually been there
Solid as hell.
it's been really really good, really solid. Yeah,
Impact, the weekly show of Impact was a little disappointing, especially for it being the go home show before the pay per view. Like,
right.
I expected them to pull out a lot more stuff, and they
hmm
kind of dropped the ball on that. That's why I didn't bring much up about Impact for the weekly show,
Yeah,
is because one, not a lot happened that meant anything,
yeah,
and two, the matches were, if they went longer than 10 minutes, they were not interesting.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
they just did not kill it this week, and That's a bummer because I know Impact can do it.
Yeah, they
They've
definitely
done it for me
have.
in the
Yeah,
past,
they
and
have. Yep. And with them having these, special, shows that aren't really shows, and they just recapping things, has been difficult. But
check your private chat.
sorry, I got a bunch of people in and out of this place. Um,
I saw your private chat message. That's
okay,
fine.
yeah, give me like 5 minutes because he had run and do something. But yeah, we'll end the show with that, and then we can look forward to. We got this is a great month for wrestling. Like it's a historic month for wrestling. I
Yeah,
mean, you
it's
talk
it. I
about
mean, it breaks down barriers that companies can
so
work
many.
together. I
Hmm.
mean, it just proves that it can work. What I am surprised about, though, and we didn't talk about this, but Bullet Club, if you want to call the Bullet Club or the Elite, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah,
the Good Bros and Kenny Omega, they won over Rich Swann,
I knew it would
Moose,
happen
and Chris Sabin, which I thought was shocking. Why Impact would let other talent come into their company and let their champion lose,
because
clean as a whistle.
Tony Khan totally owns this company. It's obvious now.
I don't know about that.
It's so obvious. I mean, what? I mean, if he doesn't and he's just being a good sport, like props to him because we all know the Empire would never do anything like that. And if you're wondering why I
No.
keep calling them that, is I think I'm taking a page out of Mr. Cody Rhodes' book, and that's how I'm gonna refer to them now. Try to,
Yeah.
anyways. But yeah, no, it's honestly, if there was a history book on wrestling, the year 2021, the month of January would be a huge chapter because
Oh yeah.
you're talking about the greatest tribute show for
Of all time.
of all time. Unless they one up it somehow, I don't know how that'll happen. I don't hope that'll ever happen. But you talk about that. Hard to Kill pay per view coming up or already passed. We got the Royal Rumble coming up. This is
Oh,
a
how
big
did you
month,
feel
man.
about the pay per view on like a grade scale of like F to A plus? What
Okay,
would you
so
give
yeah,
it?
this is the first pay per view I've bought that was not a WWE pay per view. So, and that being said, I have watched, you know, uh, I don't even remember. I did watch this one AEW one, but it was through streams and other things like that, and it wasn't sit down start to finish like this one was. And I've been paying, I pay attention to some WWE pay per views here and there, like the last couple I've watched, and this one was so much better because you don't have all the extra BS. When they talk about like the little backstory behind the match, like it's fast. It doesn't take forever,
Yeah.
and the matches aren't boring. And I'm a big fan of when how they film the main shot, like you see the entrance in the background. I never
Mm-hmm.
realized how much I like that until tonight. And uh,
Yeah. I guess I never noticed that Impact does that a lot. Yeah,
Impact,
their hardcore
Impact,
faces the ramp.
yeah, and AEW does that, and WWE never has. The only time
No.
I remember it is from SmackDown versus Raw. Shut your mouth on PS2, and that
Yeah.
for some reason that was the angle, which was so awkward because you just that's not how it is. Um, yep, interesting. Okay. So with that being said, Mr. Gorekeeper, I have a special guest
Okay.
who is going to quickly talk about a couple of things, and then we'll end the show. We're already an hour in,
Should I give you
so
main?
let me. get ready. I'm gonna turn my cam off. We're gonna get ready, and then yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. So yeah, like me and Mr. T, the judge, were just talking about. I think if I was gonna grade it on a scale of from F to A plus, I'd probably give it a solid B. There was some decent matches. There was no bad matches on this match. There was on this pay per view. There's a few great ones, uh, especially the barbed wire massacre and the triple threat X Division match were just amazing. Everything else was solid to good. So I give it a firm B, maybe B. No, yeah, a B. That's what I'm giving it officially. From the Gorekeeper, from TSSP Wrestling, from Brandon, it's a B. Oh, I got a message here. 1 second. Okay, ready? Near. All right. Here we go.
Well, hello there, goalkeeper.
Scorekeeper. Okay, Preston, Puffster, you now have the room. Why don't you tell everybody here what we got going on tomorrow?
Well, actually, what we have going on tomorrow is Puffamania Whiteout. It's our second show. It's going to be at the Doubletree by Hilton in West Fargo. Bell time is at 4. However, we do have a pre-show that's going to be streaming live at 3:20 via our Facebook live stream. Our actual pay-per-view is going to be via our new Patreon page that we have made up for this thing, and that is priced at $10. I mean,
$10. And in all
can't go wrong with
honesty,
that.
The show you guys did before in October was called Immortal, and I think we showed that completely free for everybody, and for the most part, anyways.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of indie shows. I've gone to actual, live events, WWE, this and that. And Immortal was amazing. So for $10, you guys can experience something unique and different, something that, this day and age, a lot of people need this kind of entertainment. And Puffmania is running wild in the Dakotas, and hopefully will be number one independent wrestling promotion in all of the Dakotas.
The crazy thing about it is that, for what we have, it's something that we don't see special today. We've got over the entire card. We've got 10 matches for all this whole thing. We had so many matches. We had to make a pre-show for this thing. That's the match we had. We have a last man standing. We got tag team action. We have a championship bracket that's going to be in this thing for our first ever championship. We have a very first ever Puffamania exclusive, its own creation, a UFTA match with the Renaissance man, Ricky Norton, and the controversial one, Kato. Wow. It's going to be unbelievable to see.
So, and if you guys can't already put two and two together, it is called Whiteout because there is so much going on. There are so many wrestlers that it's going to be like a whiteout winter storm blizzard, baby. You're not going to be able to see through the trees. You're not going to be able to see the road because there's going to be so much action. And stop on down. We're going to have lots of cool merch. We've got posters, water bottles, stickers, and it's not like, you got to break the bank to buy this. It isn't. It's good quality stuff for little to no money. And we got a whole catering thing through the hotel. So there's going to be food, snacks, drinks. It's going to be great.
Absolutely,
it really is.
This show is a show for fans made by fans.
Exactly. So. Yeah, it's a little bit like AEW. For wrestlers by wrestlers. This is for fans by fans.
I'll give you that one. Touche.
Touche. I had to get it in because I know you don't. You don't.
Well,
like
no, don't say that.
You like the Empire.
That's at some point, I do have to say though, AEW does grow on me. I am a fan of Orange Cassidy. I've seen him before. Actually, I have a pin by him.
You do.
Yeah, by the man himself.
Lucky man.
But they're young. We're young. They got things to learn. We got things to learn. Everybody. The point to go across is that the future is not Vince McMahon. It's the people that he, quote unquote, was going to listen to and listens to now, but doesn't.
Yeah, it's the people who blossomed in his company that inspired us to do what we do, and what we're doing is Puffamania presents Whiteout. Shad, wish you would have been here for this, broski.
What the what?
Yeah, I'm guessing he's a little jelly. Sorry. Anyways, we're gonna have to wrap this up, but yeah, like I said, Puffmania presents Whiteout tomorrow. DoubleTree, 12 p.m. is when doors open, doors open for us. We're setting up at 12. Don't come at 12. Don't go. Yep.
Doors will be opening at
3 p.m. So, with that being said, thank you very much, Big Papa Puff.
How to get that background is an industry secret.
It's literally just the wall of this hotel
I gotta say,
room.
props to this place.
It is. They got so much great amenities, customer service. It's awesome. We will we'll put a link for where the show will be tomorrow. Stop on by. It's not an expensive show to see, and it's going to be very, very entertaining. So, with that being said, I am the judge, Mr. T, and this is
The Gorekeeper. You can follow me on Twitter at YTGorekeeper. You can follow the Shooting Star Press at TSSP Wrestling on Twitter. Check out our YouTube channel if you haven't watched on there. Follow our Facebook at the Shooting Star Press. Yeah, I've had a really good time tonight. We got through everything, plus most of our segments. We didn't get to 20 questions, or we also didn't get to do the fan questions, but we ran short on time because there was so much wrestling this week for us to cover.
It's 11:27. If it would have been an 8 o'clock show, maybe we would be on here a little bit longer. But I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tired. You're tired. Everyone's tired. Anyways, so everyone, thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Mr. T out. Too sweet, baby.
See you later, guys. Thanks for coming on.